everyone. Welcome back to another quick look with the Casual Hour. I'm Chase, that's Bobby, and this is Balatro. Hi, Bobby.
Hello. I did not know that we were doing drugs this early in the day, but here we are.
Yeah, man, this is a hell of a drug.
Yes, it
and
is.
I am addicted as hell.
Yeah,
to
let's
Balatro.
just pull that Band-Aid off. Balatro fucking rules. That's the quick look. Go play it so we can play it and not have to tell you about it. How about that?
Yeah,
Does that work?
absolutely. I think a lot of people are learning how cool Balatro is, but we've definitely been caught by the bug. So Balatro, broad strokes first. This is a roguelike deck builder.
Yep.
But unlike other roguelike deck builders, this uses real cards. A deck of 52 playing cards. You got your kings, your aces, that kind of stuff. And it's a roguelike. You go through, you add stuff to your deck, you take stuff out of your deck, you upgrade things, and you try to beat bosses.
And you break it. Badly.
And yes, you're absolutely looking for fun ways to break it. So, Bobby, why don't you tell the folks at home a little bit more about Balatro as I pick one of these decks, which is kind of like your starting classes. I'm going to take the blue deck, and then
that's the starting. No, the red's the starting deck, right?
Yeah, red's the starting deck. There's a handful of decks here. I've unlocked a few. I haven't actually beaten one of these runs yet.
Same.
So,
I got really close.
But...
I think you and I have the same amount of decks unlocked.
Okay. So I'll start with the blue. You tell folks at home what this game is about.
Totally. This came out on February 20th. It's made by LocalThunk and put out by PlayStack. And the good news here, Chase, is unlike some of the games, or most of the games that we do here on Quick Looks, you can play this one everywhere. So if you're on PC, if you're playing on the Switch, which is where we're recording this one today, PlayStation or Xbox, you can get it there. I've played it in handheld. I've played it on my computer. You're playing on the Switch. It seems like this is just doing really well on all platforms right now. So
yeah, you get that with some of these kind of roguelike games, especially roguelike deck builders, where sometimes the UI doesn't feel great on something like a Switch, or the control, like using a controller instead of a mouse makes it not great. I would say this game is probably easier to play with a mouse and keyboard. Well, really just a mouse. But I have had no trouble playing it on the Switch, outside of like maybe trying to hit the buttons too fast and having something not get selected that I wanted to. But
also it's $15. Sorry, I didn't say that.
$15, totally.
$15.
Like super cheap, and I've gotten so many hours out of this game already, and I plan to do more. So the basic idea here is we're playing poker, and you get a hand of what is this, 8 cards? Yeah,
yep.
8 cards. So you're just making poker hands. So let's make the best hand we can. Let's make a 2 pair. You don't have to use all 5 cards to make a thing. I could just send these 4 and see what happens. I'll throw in a 7. It won't do anything. Only the things that score. Only the things that are part of the scoring hand will count towards the score. Like watch this. The aces will be worth 11 chips. The 3s will be worth 3. And the 7 won't do anything. But
I realized after our streaming of the demo that, because we were just throwing like more cards in there to get points, it wasn't working. Mm-hmm. And I know you'll talk about them here in a minute, but I did find a solution to that problem that helped out.
Yeah, I have gotten one of those as well that fixed that.
Yep.
All right, so you know what? We did a bad thing there. Maybe we shouldn't have thrown the 7 because we got another 7. But that's okay. The other thing here is that you have discards, so I can go, okay, I like these
limited
jacks.
Discards.
Yes, you can see there on the left, I've got 4 more hands I can play in this blind or this round. And I also have 3 discards. So let's keep the king, keep the jacks. We do have an open-ended straight here, so maybe, I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, why don't we try for it's open-ended, so, we could get an 8 or a 3. So let's toss our pair of jacks. Maybe a dumb thing to do, but we're gonna discard these 4 cards, and hey, we got our straight.
There it is.
So let's.
You also got a full house if you'd rather do that.
I do have a full house. You're right. Yeah, full house better than a straight.
If you start to pull those up, so you can see like really quick, just for like the sanity here, it shows 40 by 4, and go ahead and do your straight as well.
Okay, so here, this shows you poker hands. If you don't know poker hands, these are your poker hands. The better hands have better multipliers. So you can see, yes, a full house gets us a 40 times 4 base, and then you add in the value of the cards before it actually goes. So the straight would have been 30 by 4. So we're making more.
This is also, can you pull that back up really quick?
Yeah.
I think this is a really helpful thing that I've used quite a bit is over on the right of what Chase was just talking about. You can see that he's done 2 pair already. It'll let you know what you've played the most of. And that also can be beneficial for some other elements of the game as you progress on there. But it also helps you know maybe what you would want to level up, because there are levels that go with this that will increase multipliers. So I just want to call that out. If you're looking at like how you're playing, or if you're new to poker and you're figuring this out, it'll let you know what you've naturally been playing over there on the right.
Totally. Yeah, there's some specific cards that go, oh, we're gonna really upgrade your 3 of a kinds. And so so you see on the left, all of these are level 1. But yeah, you can upgrade these more, which just gives you better bases, gives you more chips and more multipliers, and plus the cards that you do. There's a lot of ways to make your decks even more efficient. So we'll play this hand, this 4s over 5s.
Full house might be one. I think either a 2 pair or full house might be like my favorite poker hand. I just love those.
Full house feels hard to beat. Yeah, I
so
also
good,
like
man.
a good flush. Flush
Yep.
is fun.
Yep.
But so then you get money. You get money for beating the blind, which is again the round. You get money for the remaining hands that you have. So we had 3 hands. Maybe we could have even had a 4th one if we used more discards and gotten a better poker hand early.
Yeah.
You also get money for interest. So any amount over $5 you have, you start to gain $1 of interest. So that's a way of gaining a little bit more money. What do you need money for? Well, let's cash out and let's see. You go to the shop between each round. And so each round you get this option to go to the shop, and you can get jokers, which are things that go up above here. It says the 0 out of 5 above this. That's my joker slots. I can put joker stuff in there. So doubles all probabilities.
You also get really good music at the shop too.
Yeah, you get good music everywhere.
Yeah, that's true.
This is a good game. So this would double all listed probabilities. I don't think I have anything so far that has probabilities, but there are some things that say, hey, there's a 1 in 5 chance this thing happens, and now it could be a 2 in 5 chance. This one I haven't used, so actually let's try this. So earn $3 for each discarded queen.
Okay.
But the rank changes every round. So I can make some money by discarding queens, but then it might say now you want aces to be discarded. So we'll take that. Maybe just a way to get some money. And then why don't we do a standard pack, because I think that's going to help people a little bit more understand what's going on here. All right, we've got some cards here. We could looking at our deck. Yeah, we can just view our deck here. Here's our deck. It's a standard deck of 52 cards. We've got aces of all suits. We've got 2s of all suits.
The deck
13
also
of
tells
each.
you what I know you called it out earlier, but if you're looking at it from this view, your blue deck has a +1 hand modifier. So that's called out there at the top again if you need. That's what that's about.
Yeah, so in each round we get to play an extra hand, which could lead to more money because you get more money.
I would say that's
with the
probably
hands you have
what
left.
a new player should be doing, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think it's really smart that they give you the red deck first, so you discard more, because I think discarding is really important in this game.
Agreed.
But generally, it's nice to have an extra hand. It just gives you it's almost like having more health.
Yep. Totally.
Okay, so we have a standard deck, but what if we wanted a second 10 of clubs? We could just add a second 10 of clubs to our deck. And this 10 of clubs that I'm looking at is a little special. It is a multi-card, and that's why it's got all those little scratches on it. So it gives us the +10 chips that you'd get out of a normal 10, but it also adds 3 to the multiplier of any hand you make with it that scores. And the same with this 6. It's also a multi. Let's take this 10. Let's get a second 10 in our deck. So now you can look at our deck.
There's a card that makes me want 10s and 4s a whole lot. I'm just gonna say that.
Hell yeah, man! It's my favorite card. I got it in a run
really
last
good.
Night. So now you see we have 14 clubs and we have 5 10s. So probabilities, we're going to get more 10s more often, and we're also going to get more clubs more often. So maybe we want to start specking into those things. It's weird to say spec with a regular deck of playing cards.
I know.
But we're at the point where, okay, maybe we should think about getting more clubs because that can get us more flushes. Maybe we should think about getting more 10s because that can give us more pairs, 3 of a kinds, 4 of a kinds. You can even get 5 of a kinds in here. So you have that option as well. We're out of money, so we can't do anything else. There are these vouchers that give you kind of big things, and we might be able to buy this later. The vouchers stay per
run,
per blind, per big blind. So when we go to the next round, you'll see we have three rounds in this level. And once you beat this boss blind, which is the psychic that we'll come up against, which I don't know if I've played the psychic before, then we'll get a new set of blinds. So you have that option. Now also you have an option on any of these where you can just skip. We can totally just skip this and go right to the boss blind. And you get a bonus for that. We'd get +3 hand size the next round. So we'd get instead of 8 cards, we'd get 11 cards for the next thing. But I think it's better to play. One, this is the video game. You want to play the video game.
Totally.
But two, I think we can earn some more money because you don't get to go to the shop if you skip a blind. So it is useful to play, earn some money, and go to the shop because maybe you can get even more bonuses through that. All right, let's see. We got 2 pair right now. I'm going to say maybe we can get another full house. So let's just discard this away.
Yep.
And we did. We got our full house.
There it is. Bingo, bingo.
Jacks. So
I also I wish that there was a way that if you played X amount of poker hands, it would level up on its own. I think that would be fun too.
Yeah.
But that's basically done. There's a card type in this game that takes care of that for you.
So we could use our pair of queens, but we also have this mail-in rebate, which earns us $3 for each discarded queen. So why don't we discard these queens? And we also have another open-ended straight here. So why don't we discard these 4 cards?
Sure.
And make $6 just on that. All right. So we didn't get our straight. Money becomes
so important in this game. Like, it is incredibly important to have money.
Yeah, and I've had runs where I am, hand to mouth. I spend this money as much as I can. And then I've had other runs where it's, oh God, I've broken this system so much where money is not an issue. I can buy everything in the shop every single time. It doesn't necessarily save you because you still are up to random chance on what's in the shop. All right, let's actually, we got one more discard. Let's see what we can get here. Let's see if we can get another full house. So we'll discard these. And we did. 8s over 7s. So that should be enough to beat the blind. So we need 450 chips. We have 300 with our first full house. And this is going to give us another 300. So that puts us over. And the round is done. So now that round is done, we can go up here and it says, okay, now you want to discard 2s instead of your queens. So we'll keep that in mind next time. So we'll cash out. We made 8. All right. We've got planet cards. So the planets, they go up in your consumable section, which is at the top right. You see how the Jokers, I've got 1 of 5, but then there's that other slot that's 0 of 2. I could just buy this. I could also just buy and use this right now. Yeah. And I think with planets, if you have them, you either want to use them immediately or you want to sell them. So if I'm going to buy this out of the shop, I'm going to use it.
I've never kept a planet card for a run. It makes no sense in my opinion to do so.
Yeah, the only reason I've hung on to it is because I'm not really playing this hand very often, so I'm going to keep this for the shop so I can sell it and then buy more stuff later. I don't think we're making a lot of 4 of a kinds. Yes, we have 5 10s in our deck, but I just don't see it happening that often. Playing cards with club suit gives us 4 multi-wins scored. We do have an extra 10 of clubs in our deck, so we are proportionally getting more clubs. Let's take this because now we have a way that, okay, maybe we can really spec into clubs. Let's also take an Arcana pack. These cards are tarot cards, and they function a little bit differently. You can change some cards in your deck. So you get a random selection of cards from your deck that you can now modify. So I can just double my money right now, double my money from 5 to 10. I could use the Sun to convert 3 cards to hearts. I know we want clubs, man. If we had gotten the club one, that would have been great. But even so, we could take out this. Actually, this is bad. So we only have 2 diamonds. We'd want to keep clubs for this Joker, and the rest are already hearts. So we probably don't want this one. Hey, there you go. That's the one we want. So let's convert this king, this 10, and this 8 into clubs.
There's a tarot card that will randomly select a suit for the entire cards that you had pulled out there. I had just gotten the Joker that does exactly what yours does, but for hearts. And I decided to roll the dice, and it converted everything to hearts, and it was such an awesome moment. It was so good.
It is really cool. All right, so now you see we only have 11 hearts in our deck, but we have 17 clubs, and we have 3 10 of clubs.
You see that on the bottom left corner in case you weren't paying attention. Everybody.
Right. So now we're feeling real good. Now now we've got, as they say, a stew going.
You've got a baked-in multiplier. I would do the Celestial Pack. Go ahead and grab that.
Yeah. Let's see some more cards.
This is where you're going to upgrade your levels.
Right. So there's just a random selection of planets. 3 of a kind. That's pretty good. Straight flush. That's still pretty hard to pull off. We don't quite have the cards for that. I mean, we have the ability to make more flushes. And high card. That's fine, but you generally don't want to use high cards because they just aren't worth a lot. So why don't we take this 3 of a kind? So that's just upgrading the base 3 of a kind. So anytime we make a 3 of a kind of any type, we just
get... Will you pull up your run info really quick?
Yes.
So now you can see that level 2 on the left that shows you what you got going on.
Yeah, so a 3 of a kind at this point is worth more than a straight. We get 50 chips and 5 times multiplier. It's better than a flush. It's better than a full house. So now it's weird. If you have 3 of a kind, you want to play 3 of a kind even if you have the option for full house because it just gives you more chips. Unless you have some cards that specifically are giving you more points to do that. All right, so the psychic. There's always a little mutator kind of thing for each of the boss blinds, and this one says I must play 5 cards every single hand. So I can't hang on to extra cards thinking maybe I'll make something better out of it. There are other boss blinds that say the first hand you're dealt is face down, so you just kind of have to guess at what cards you're playing. Now, I will say it is nice that the cards always come out in order, so you can take some educated guesses that, okay, the thing on the leftmost, even if they're face down, is probably an ace or a king. At the lower end, it's probably a 3 or a 2. So it gives you some of those options as well. All right. What if we know we have a bunch of clubs, but we also know we want 3 of a kinds. Well, we do want to sell 2s. So why don't we do a big discard here? Let's discard.
I do pretty big cuts when I'm playing.
Yeah, I think you definitely want to discard a bunch of cards if you can.
Well, my thinking of it is that you have limited times to do it. And so the other thing that I'll do here is, like, you want to get rid of the 2 because you're going to get money for it. But if I've got throwaway cards and I know I've got those 2 kings and I'm just going to do a pair, I'll run with the kings and I'll just throw my trash in with it.
Totally. Yeah,
and that's like
an
a
option.
built-in discard too.
And I would consider that, except that our 3 of a kinds are now so good that I kind of want to hang on to those kings in case I get more. We also have a bunch of 10s in the deck now, so I kind of want to keep those, and I kind of want to keep the clubs because we have more clubs, so we can possibly get a flush. So I think I'm going to discard these 3, which is a little wasteful. You can discard up to 5 every time, but we'll discard those and see what we get. All right, not what we're looking for.
You got straight, but
we do have a straight. We'd have to lose some of the cards that we'd want to maybe keep. I think we try discarding it again and just see if we get better.
Yeah.
And okay, there you go. There's our 3 kings. We could also just make a full house, but like we said,
and you got a club multiplier there.
That's true. Yeah, we'll get extra points off the king of clubs. So we could make this a full house, but it's fewer coins.
Yeah.
So let's not do that. Let's just play. Oh, we have to play 5 though. Oh, that's right.
You do have to play 5. So I would. Yeah, this is the thing. We didn't think about that earlier. I would.
Do we want to do this and hope for the flush later with clubs?
Yep. Just do that.
Or do we look for 3 7s? Because we have the big 3 of a kind thing right now.
I mean, 3 of a kind is going to be. I think that you're going to be pretty close with those kings already. With your multiplier.
That's true. It's probably not going to matter, and having more clubs has more things that can possibly get us with the Gluttonous Joker. So let's send these 5 and see what happens.
So you get. You're already.
Oh yeah, we already won. Once things go set on fire on the left side, you know that you have a hand that has beaten the blind in a single hand.
Yep.
So
and the faster as you called it out, the faster you beat this, the more money you're going to get. That's right. You should try and do that as much as you can.
Yeah, the fewer hands. Let's do one more because now we finished the boss blind. We're going to get a reset of blinds here. You see in the bottom left hand corner, our ante has gone up, which just means everything's even more expensive and more difficult. But we got $13 to spend. Retriggering I think that
Joker
cards.
On the right is.
I have not played with this one. Yeah. Per discarded diamond card. Well, great, because we don't want diamond cards. We want clubs. So let's definitely take that. And then we still
do
got
the
some
jumbo
cash
if you can, because I don't think we've done a jumbo yet.
Yeah, so really the only difference is you're spending $2 extra for 2 extra cards to choose.
And I think the mega is the one that lets you get 2 cards from a pack.
You get 2 out of a set of 5. Okay, so we could convert a bunch of stuff to diamonds, which we know is going to get us more chips, which could be useful. We could convert it to spades. We don't really want that. We could just destroy cards, which is nice. We could get rid of a couple spades or a couple hearts from our deck and not worry about it anymore. That's not giving us a lot of money. Or we could do a stone card. You know what? We should do this. This is not the best thing you could do for this run, but I think for this, just to show off what a stone card is. So let's see first. For every 8. Okay, so we won't throw away this 8. Let's change this 3 of hearts into a stone card. And a stone card, as it says, gives you 50 chips, no rank or suit, but you can just add it into any hand and it throws in an extra 50 chips. And it doesn't count towards anything. So let's play one more hand.
Also, can you go down to the skip blind thing just to show that really quick?
Yeah. So with this, we could just skip this blind and go right to the big blind. We wouldn't go to the shop, but we would get a bonus, and this bonus is a voucher tag. We would get one more voucher added to the next shop. So vouchers, I think, always cost $10. So at this point, this would be kind of dumb to do because we only have $1. But if we had a ton of money, adding another voucher could get us a big bonus, and that would be really nice. So let's select this one more time, see what we get out of here. All right, we've got a lot of pairs, but not a lot of 3 of a kinds here. So let's actually just toss. Let's toss all of these cards.
Yeah, I think that's the right move here.
So we do get that upgrade because we threw away a diamond. We kind of want to throw away 8s for the money, but we might get a flush out of this. So actually, why don't we, at this point, maybe we go for the flush, and now we get to throw away a bunch of diamonds, which also upgrades multipliers.
Hell yeah.
Okay, got our flush. So let's deal with that. So all of these get extra bonuses from that club joker.
Nice.
And
I mean, this is a huge win.
We did quite well. In fact, if I had done the math correctly and figured out that we were going to get so much, I probably should have discarded even more. I should have used that last discard and just see if we get anything else out of it. Like maybe I could have gotten, because now it wants aces, but maybe I could have discarded something that would have gotten me even more money here. But that's the game. You're kind of just
it's so good.
tweaking builds and figuring out things you want. All the jokers are really cool. I think there's 52 complete jokers here that you can use. So some are pretty similar. So we've got this one that uses clubs, but then there's one that's basically the same except with hearts.
They make one of those jokers for each suit.
Yes.
So like you could have all 4 out and just be getting regardless of what you got going in your hand if you really wanted to be a sicko.
Oh, this one's cool. So maybe you'd get multiples of the same card. So then if you're, maybe we get more of these jokers. So we could just upgrade our clubs even more.
It's very good. It's so good.
There's so much cool
and
stuff.
Every run
also,
has felt different too, which is great.
It really has. Like we kind of teased one of the other Jokers that we played with before. It's my favorite Joker. It's the walkie-talkie Joker, which just which just means all your 10s and 4s, good buddy, get even more bonuses. I think they give you plus 10 chips and plus 4 to your multiplier for every 10 and every 4 that you play that scores. So I've had decks where I've specifically built it in a way of how many 10s and 4s can I get, and how many of these other things I can throw away. There's tarot cards that say, oh, you can up the rank of 2 cards. So I was like, okay, well, I'll up the rank of this 3 of spades, and I'll up the rank of this 9 of spades, and make them into a second 10 of spades and a second 4 of spades. And it's ways of either deleting stuff from your deck or upgrading it into a specific kind of build. It's really, really cool. So we have $8 here. Let's just keep spending money and just see more stuff. But you open up another pack. So we've seen high card, flush, 3 of a kind, which we already have, so we could upgrade that even further. 4 of a kind, or just a regular pair. So what if we upgraded this even further? And now it's, man, our 3 of a kinds are really good. Maybe we should find ways of speccing into 3 of a kinds. Maybe we find the Joker that gives you plus 100 chips when you have 3 of a kind in any hand. So even if you had a full house, it gives you plus 100 chips because you have 3 of a kind in that hand. So many options, so many things to do. It does get really difficult when you just get into, like, I'll show you next round here. I'm not going to play it, but these blinds get really big. We were dealing with like 400 chips, 600 chips at one point, and now they're getting into the thousands. They get into the tens of thousands, and are you going to be able to beat 22,000 chips that you need on one of the antes? It's really fun. It's really, really cool. It's got a lot of great ideas in it. Bobby, I know you've been playing it a lot. I know our co-host Johnny's been playing it a lot. It's a big surprise that kind of came out of nowhere, and it's taken the world by storm, and it's definitely taken us by storm here at the Casual Hour.
Yeah, I'm actually going to download it for my wife today on her Switch and see if she gets into it there. But
and that's actually the interesting point, is that a lot of these games, like, you would never give Monster Train to your wife, because that game is so complicated, and there's so many things going around that it's difficult. It's rewarding for us who have gotten into the systems and understand it. It's so rewarding, but it's really hard. It's got a big barrier to entry for a lot of people. This, you show this to your wife, and she goes, "Oh yeah, playing cards. I've played poker before. I know how poker works." And I think just having that foundation of, I already understand what poker hands are. I already understand that aces are worth more than 4s. Having that base knowledge, I think has done so much for this game. Yeah, approachable. Exactly. That's the perfect word for it. Anyway, this is Balatro. It is awesome. Bobby said it's only $15. It's on basically everything. It's such a good game. People should go out and play it right now.
Totally. And we've played it quite a bit over on our Monday streams if you want to check out some of those in the past, and I'm sure we'll be playing it more in the future. You can find us doing that Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on Twitch at 9 p.m. Central. Mondays and Fridays are more game playing. Wednesdays when we record our podcast. If you want to just listen to our podcast where we've talked about Balatro and other games, every Friday morning you can find that there, or go watch our video on demand. Chase, thanks for hosting this one, and thanks for hanging out with me as I've been playing it. I think 2024 is going to be a lot of Balatro here on the Casual Hour.
Yeah, definitely. And that means we're going to have a lot of fun on the Casual Hour.
Oh, yes.
Thanks for joining me, and thanks everyone for watching, and we will catch you for the next Quick Look.